What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Thanks for pressing play. Today is the day, and as you heard last night on our live video, we are in fact getting the information for the Eray today from Chevrolet. It is all official. Let's jump right into this one because it is not anything near what we expected. All right, guys, so just like we talked about last night on the live video, we went through everything we knew about the new Corvette Eray, and for the most part, we were all correct, except for the price and the horsepower. So this thing is definitely putting itself in between the Stingray and the new Z06, but it is doing it much closer to the Z06 than any of us expected in the performance and in the price. So as you can see here on the screen, guys, yes, the car is going to start at $102,900 before destination fees. So if you guys saw my community tab post last night at about 8:45 p.m., I got some inside source knowledge and called what the price and the performance on this car was going to be very accurately. This particular source was 100% accurate, and yes, it was confirmed today, this morning at 9 o'clock a.m. from Chevrolet themselves. It is a 655 horsepower car with a $104,000 starting price after destination fees. As you can see here, this is my community tab post from last night, 11 hours ago, confirming all of the information. So guys, like I said before, the Horsepower Obsessed channel is somewhere where you can rely on the information because I get my info from the high ups at GM, and in this case, they were dead on accurate as usual. Now, one of the commenters here, by the name of demand18729, says, "Per usual, your source is wrong, just like your sources were wrong with the Z06. And I commented and said, yeah, I wouldn't be so sure about that. So D-Man gets to wear a little bit of an egg on his face because, yes, guys, we are 100% correct. The Corvette Eray is 655 horsepower and $104,000 starting point, which is much higher than any of us really expected initially. Anyway, let's get into the details of this car. So starting right off at the top here, we confirm the price, we confirm the power, but the model year is in fact a 2024, which will be coming later in 2023. It says that right down at the bottom here. It is going to be available late 2023. So initially we had talked about that as well, that it was very likely to be available in the summer or fall of 2023. That is going to be the same exact situation here, confirmed by Chevrolet. Now, moving down, we do have, of course, the standard E all-wheel drive, which is the all-wheel drive setup from Chevrolet. 2.5 seconds to 60 and a quarter mile time of 10.5 seconds, which is 1/10 faster than the Z06, or at least what GM reports on the Z06, because we've already seen the Z06 hitting a 10.5 second quarter mile time. So either this one will actually hit a 10.4 or it's basically just as fast as the 06. It does confirm the horsepower here as 655 combined horsepower. So basically you got your 495 horsepower V8 LT2 engine in the rear and your electric motor up front combined to make that 655 horsepower. Now, scrolling down a little bit further here, we do get some more information. They start talking more about the power within, which is a little illustration here showing the LT2 V8 engine, talking about the 495 horsepower, the 470 pound-feet of torque, and how the extra 160 horsepower from the E all-wheel drive electric unit is where you get that ultimate 655 horsepower. Now, in this little illustration, we can actually click on the transmission part, and it's going to give us a little bit more information. Of course, not a lot has changed here with the transmission, but at the same time, we do now have that all-wheel drive setup, so there is a little bit more going on in the front. The 8-speed transmission is exactly the same, but the battery is where things get really interesting because a lot of people were speculating that the battery was actually going to cut into the trunk or frunk space. And I confirmed a while ago that that was not going to be the case. The battery was going to be housed in the center tunnel brace, and that's exactly what happened here. So the battery is going to be completely encased inside of the frame for the most part. So it is not going to take up any room in the front or in the trunk. And GM calls this a lightweight battery. So it could be something that doesn't affect the weight too much. Now, we actually have a little bit more on the weight coming in a second because the weight has increased, but it's not by as much as you would think. The battery here is a 1.9 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery, and it electrifies the Corvette for the first time, obviously, powering the electric drive unit that powers the front wheels. The battery is self-charging, picking up energy as you go, letting you focus on the drive. The Eray battery system includes an integrated power electronics system designed for maximum responsiveness, efficiency, and performance, all in support of a 0.5 second improvement in the 0 to 60 time. Moving on to the electric drive unit part here, and this is where you'll see the actual unit that drives the front wheels. Now, this is given the rated output of 160 horsepower, which is about 60 more horsepower than I thought we would initially get. I figured we would be right around 600 horsepower, but this took it a step further and threw another 60 at it than what any of us really thought it was going to have. It also gives it an additional 125 pound-feet of torque to the front wheels, and it is truly impressive, says GM. Because of that, obviously we have the 655 horsepower combined, but we also get that all-wheel drive setup. So this is where things get really interesting, because this is in fact the first all-wheel drive Corvette, the first hybrid Corvette. This is the first for a lot with Corvette. But once again, guys, this little illustration here clearly shows us we get that 6.2 liter LT2 engine, the same transmission, the battery housed in the center tunnel brace, and of course that motor on the front wheels. It is definitely looking interesting here. Moving on, we get a little bit more information on stealth mode. And if you guys were watching the live video last night, we actually talked a lot about stealth mode. There were some other YouTubers who were speculating stealth mode was going to allow you to drive totally electronic, and I knew that that was not going to be the case. I knew there was no way that this car was going to move very far on electric power alone, just because that battery's not that big. But here stealth mode confirms that it allows you to leave the neighborhood quietly in stealth mode, which utilizes the electric drive unit to let you drive short distances at limited speeds using that electric power. That's exactly what we talked about last night, guys. A lot of the information that has been confirmed by GM today was already talked about last night and in weeks prior on the channel here, because a lot of this stuff was already leaked and rumored to be the case. And in fact, it is true. Now, a lot of the rumors with the C8 Corvette come from, I would have to guess, somebody pretty high up at GM, because these rumors and leaks are almost all 100% accurate. Moving on a little bit more though, guys, we do get some more confirmation on the ZER performance package, which of course we talked about again last night. And it is a package similar to the Z51 or the Z07 package. On the Z06, we get high performance Michelin Pilot Sport 4S ZP or zero pressure tires, as well as chassis tuning, which is of course your suspension tuning and other performance enhancement. So with the ZER package, very similar to the Z07 package, you're going to get more performance oriented tires, more performance oriented suspension, and more. And just like we talked about last night, guys, that is going to be something that's more designated for the track. And GM does actually talk about the track use of this car a little bit, which is interesting as well. Moving on though, guys, we do have some more pictures of the car talking about the face of change. And again, we are seeing all of that body colored accent paneling on the car. So just like we talked about again last night, it does not look like this is going to have an option to have any of those parts painted carbon flash the way it would be on a Z06 or on a C8 Stingray. So once again, that was another piece of information confirmed by GM today. But moving on, we got a little bit more info on the wheels here. Again, talking about the polished look or the more chrome design here. This is something we talked a little bit about last night again, where I'm not necessarily a chrome fan, but at the same time, you can now get chrome wheels on this car. And even though they're not calling them chrome, they're calling them polished, so it's not 100% chrome. It is definitely a step in that direction, and it's going to give everybody what they want. And I am all for that, even though I'm not a fan of that look. I definitely want everybody to be able to get what they want with this car, and this looks like you're going to be able to do exactly that. Moving on a little bit more, we get a nice shot of the interior here. Of course, a lot of the setup here is very similar to the Z06. We have the flat top and bottom steering wheel again with the carbon fiber accents and even the little embossed Eray logo at the bottom of the steering wheel, just like where you would find the Z06 emboss. Over on the right, though, we do get a really interesting look at the infotainment system, where we can actually have a lot of readout talking about the electric output of the car. So you're very, very well aware of what the car is doing at all times. You can also see on the dash there, it says hybrid battery, and it's giving you a lot of that information right on the dash, as well as the infotainment system. So you're always going to know what that battery situation is. New driver information screen keeps you in the know about the vehicle's battery power, in addition to a host of performance parameters. The all-new Eray app, conveniently located on the center screen, gives you a quick look at even more performance data, rear-wheel drive versus front-wheel drive power, and vehicle information. So once again, guys, you're always going to be in the know. The really interesting part though, guys, is it looks like you are able to get all new stripes, exterior accents, wheels, and more all going to be specific to the E-Ray, and it's going to allow you to customize it to your exact specification. And once again, the visualizer is actually back up online, so you will actually be able to build the car to your specifications and see the pricing all right there on the Chevrolet website. Scrolling down some more, we get a really interesting gallery. Of course, the really high resolution pictures, one of which you saw right here on the thumbnail. And it is giving you a much cleaner, more visible glimpse of the car now that it has been officially announced by GM. The pricing here goes, the 3LZ Coupe is going to start at $113,850. And if you go with the convertible 3LZ, it's going to be $120,850. So this car is not going to be cheap. It only is about $2,000 cheaper than the Z06. So you really have to kind of make up your mind on which one of these two cars you're really more interested in, because you're kind of right at the same price point. And honestly, personally, I would go for the Z06, but everybody out there is a little bit different. I'm curious what your thoughts are so far. Let me know down in the comments below. Would you take the E-Ray or would you prefer the Z06 at this price point? Now, moving on to the MidEngineCorvetteForum.com, we actually got some official press release information that wasn't really talked about at all on GM's website, some of this stuff at least, and we're going to discuss the things that were not discussed on the website. So right off the bat, we do have a lot of the same information. We get the 2.5 seconds to 60 time confirmed here. We get the E-Ray being all-wheel drive. They talk a lot about the same kind of exhilarating driving experience and everything like that. Scrolling on though, there are some hidden tidbits in this news release that we have not seen yet. This one right here talking more about the lightweight lithium-ion 12-volt battery that supports the LT2 V8 engine stop-start functionality. That's disappointing. I really don't like the idea of having the stop-start in a Corvette, but this Corvette is supposed to be 4 miles per gallon as well as performance, so I guess it's understandable to some degree. The stealth mode will allow you to do an electric drive mode on the street up to 45 miles per hour. Now, we talked about that again last night on the live, guys. I speculated it was going to be up to 30 miles an hour, but this is a little bit faster than that. 45 miles an hour and below, you can be totally stealth. The carbon ceramic rotors are going to be standard. We are going to have the same 20 and 21 inch wheel setup as the Z06. There is an enhanced roster of driver assistance technologies, which we kind of knew was coming based on that logo on the steering wheel that was leaked a little while ago. It is going to include lane keep assist, lane departure warning, forward collision alert, and following distance indicator. So we speculated initially that that might be an enhanced cruise control, but it looks like that is not listed on here. So this is more so just a following distance indicator that looked a lot like the enhanced cruise control. Now, like I said earlier, we are going to talk a little bit about the track performance here. And sure enough, we do talk about stealth mode and tracking the E-Ray. They say that the Corvette E-Ray's 2 driver initiated electric modes enable the car to travel under electric propulsion in certain conditions. The electric motor also optimizes track performance. When it comes to leveraging the electrified propulsion system for enhanced track performance, E-Ray's E all-wheel drive control system applies torque to the front axle as needed. The Charge Plus feature can be used to maximize battery state of charge for extended lapping. So the car is technically still built for the track. This is something that's pretty interesting because typically the electric cars have so much extra weight that they're not really super great on the track. This car may be the first one to break that. Scrolling down some more, of course, we get the 3 new colors, which is the Riptide Blue, Seawolf Gray, and the Cacti. We've already talked about those on this channel, but those are going to be new for the 2024 model year. And you're going to get that E-Ray exclusive body length stripe package in electric blue. Standard carbon flash badging, so available black exhaust tips and bright badging. Available carbon fiber ground effects, optional carbon fiber wheels, or the same carbon fiber wheels painted in carbon flash, just like the Z06 has. The E-Ray also has a new color interior called Artemis Dip, which we talked about before as well. It kind of matches that cacti exterior. We do have the Charge Plus and the Start Stop buttons on the center console area that we talked about as well. That will give you a more integrated appearance, it says. Coming later this year, the 2024 E-Ray goes on sale in 2023 with an MSRP of $104,295 for the 1LZ Coupe. Production will take place at GM's Bowling Green Assembly Facility in Kentucky from US and globally sourced parts. Now here's where things got a little bit more interesting for me. Again, they confirmed the 2.5 seconds to 60, 10.5 quarter mile. But if we scroll down a little bit more, we are going to start seeing some interesting information that it was not talked about on GM's website. And that is the torque. They did mention the torque of the front electric motor, but not anything together. So the actual torque of the car with the front hybrid motor added in is going to be 637. So we're going to have 655 horsepower and 637 pound-feet of torque with that electric motor added in. Going on though, we get even more information here, and that is the dry weight. So the dry weight is a weight of the car without any fluids in it and without a driver in it. So we get a 3,774 pound car that is completely dry. So after you add in fluids, you're looking at another 100 to 200 pounds. This car is going to be very close to 4,000 pounds in its coupe form. Now, in the convertible form, you're probably going to be over 4,000 pounds by just a hair, because that is 3,856 pounds, almost 100 pounds more, just for getting that convertible option. Now, this car we already knew was going to weigh a little bit more because batteries are not light. And even though the battery is a lightweight version of GM's lithium ion, it is still adding weight to the center of the car. Now, this could actually be a good thing, to be honest with you. Putting some weight towards the front of that car could be a great thing because it's going to give it a closer to even weight distribution. Whereas now the C8 typically sits somewhere around a 62 to 38 weight distribution. 62% of it, of course, is in the rear. But this might help even that out a little bit. So we'll see. It might have an actual performance advantage. But guys, that's going to do it for today's video. We are going to talk a lot about this car in the future. We may even do a live video tonight discussing some more of the information, so stay tuned for that. But guys, if you liked what you saw, please smash that thumbs up button. Let me know you're liking the content so we can keep creating this stuff for you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We're going to have loads of content like this coming you're not going to want to miss. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next upload.